Morning. It's 11:29 a.m. Thursday, October 14th, 2021. Sun is shining, the sky is mostly blue. Hopefully going to get some automotive repair work done today. I have to work tomorrow, which means driving my truck, and my squealer started, but then the last 3 days I managed to get the parts that I needed, and then every time I had the availability to do the work, guess what? God took a piss on me from the sky. So, today, come hell, high water, rain, shine, snow, volcano, whatever, I'm going to do my front brake pads. I'm going to do my spark plugs. I'm going to do my serpentine belt. I also picked up the retaining bolts and fastening straps for the front four-wheel drive yoke U-joints, as well as pricing. Once I get through the weekend here with some work, going to get they're about $30 a piece for the U-joints for this front four-wheel drive shaft. Turns out, the cool thing about nomenclature is if you know the names of the things, if you know the general sense of where they go on the thing, you can describe what it is, where it's from, and what it does. And you may be right near or on the actual part name. And you think, oh, that's common sense. No, not always. Not always. You can say it's a drive shaft that runs from a transfer case to a yoke. This could be in the back too, right? So then you got to say it's the front one. Okay, well then it's for four-wheel drive because it's a truck. It's not front-wheel drive. It's not all-wheel drive. So you got the front four-wheel drive shaft. Easy stuff, right? So anyways, at some point here, I also have to get the blowtorch out and finish getting all of the injected plastic that holds the factory installed U-joints, which by the way are what is on that 247 almost. I'm a couple hundred miles, I think, from 247,000 mile vehicle with original U-joints on the front four-wheel drive that only gave out last winter. So, and the back one's fine. It's the front one that was an issue. And for all I know, it was actually one of the bolts or something that came out or somebody sabotaged. Who knows? So anyways, within a couple of weeks here, I should have my four-wheel drive good to go. I should have, hopefully, made some progress on addressing the misfire. And really, and I got a new air filter to put into. We're going full fall tune-up. The next step is going to be the O2 sensors and the mass airflow. That's probably going to be by the next paycheck or something, I'm going to guess. I meant to pay my property tax, at least to pay a portion toward it on, I think it was Monday. And I went into town and deposited my check and I was going to go get some cat food and a couple things for the house and go throw $100 or $2 down on my property tax. And the courthouse, or no, what was it? I waited on Monday because I knew it was a holiday. So Tuesday I went and did it. And then Tuesday I got to the courthouse. And the day that I got into town and got the money to do this thing and drove all the way across town to a part of Burlington that I had no other purpose in being to other than to the courthouse. Turned out they were closed since like 2:30 that afternoon for some kind of a training exercise. So anyways, eventually I'll get that paid. But in the meantime, I've realized that it's going to be more important to not fall behind on the things my truck needs. I've been keeping the bills paid. I've been keeping the shelf stocked here in the house. I've been keeping the cats took care of as best as possible. On that note, with Mr. Steve OK, he is continuing to eat. He unfortunately did not seem to appreciate the salmon with spinach that I got a can of to try. I don't blame him. Canned spinach is kind of nasty, but it's good for you. He has put on, I want to say, a good 2 or 3 pounds since the doctor's appointment. I haven't weighed him, but I can feel the difference. And his 2 sisters, who are also similar size, not as big. They were never fixed. They're not as rotund as he was. They still weigh more than he does, but he weighs more than April now. Again, she's the skinny, lithe one, but by no means unhealthy. And I also noticed his what they call the what do they call that, the primal pouch or whatever, the cats have a little fupa thing that hangs down, and when a cat is healthy, they will have a little bit of one. And basically, it helps them in crawling on the ground, reducing friction and sound by having kind of a loose, fuzzy thing that kind of moves with them. And there's some other purposes, but it's just kind of a thing that cats have, and a healthy cat will have one. Well, after the last few days, Steve's has kind of relaxed out again. It's not holding in up to his peritoneal cavity or whatever. So hopefully he didn't get peritonitis from Delta variant. Unfortunately, if that was the case, the doctors have no literature on this kind of thing. They have no cases for study and wouldn't even be willing around here. These clowns would not be interested in getting a case to find out some real information if that was the case. So I don't know if that's what it was, if he seriously like fell off of something. I did yesterday have an incident where Roger chased Samira, and Samira was hanging out up here on this ledge, 8 foot off the floor. And, normally they're good, and it's, there's a place to a window about 18 inches down, and about 4 feet below that, there's a desktop, and then there's floor, and they have all these step downs all over the place that they use. Well, the one cat chased the other cat, and Samira kind of got up onto this little square thing, which is the pressure tank for the well is back there, which it's not even functional. It's not. It's just still there. She went around the top of that like she does, but then she was gonna see if she couldn't hop around, and Roger kind of head faked and wouldn't let her. So she ended up trying to jump and missed the window, and did the little. She didn't have to flip, but she kind of did the helicopter spin when she came down. She did one of these, like a 180, as she fell and tried to slow her descent. Landed on the floor. She was okay. I checked her out, and her ego was bruised, and I think her paws were a little sore at first, but nothing's broken. She doesn't seem to be injured internally or anything, but it's just kind of, really. Roger gets cranky when she doesn't have her urinary health medicine treat, I call it. It's kind of a cranberry thing. And sometimes she gets aggressive like that. So that's I call that her chill pill. So, anyways, had all that happen. And I wonder if something similar didn't happen where maybe Roger has bullied Steve as well. I think sometimes she bullies Princess. This is a cat that is not related to anybody else. She's a year older than everybody else, at least a couple years older than Princess. And if you've ever had a Tux cat, you know that they're different. Smart, mind you, excellent cats, but they're a little different. So that happened. Anyways, right now, my recuperating man cat, my fuzzy son, is hanging out up in a windowsill, having hopped and climbed his way up, and is chilling. Like I said, he's fully hydrated now. He's gained a bit of weight. His primal pouch is hanging. Another thing that I got to thinking about was when we got him neutered to begin with, when he was less than a year old. So we're talking 4 years ago, at least. I'm recalling now that we were told that he's anemic. He has always had white gums. So whatever it is that he's dealing with now is just that he was injured to the point that he burned through all of his fat and lost his appetite. So anyways, these days, his appetite seems to be back. If I place food in front of him, he will eat. He is still particular to the salmon. Sometimes I have to kind of stir it with my finger and kind of clump some up and make it a little more accessible. This should not obviously be something I should have to do. What concerns me is that perhaps his lack of testicles and lack of testosterone means that there might also be some sort of lack of certain survival instinct, because not all of the processing hardware is available, as it were. I'm not saying your balls or your brain's processor or whatever, but if your body is not producing testosterone and it is a necessary part of your growth and development, it's a thing. So he is much lighter than he was, of course. He is hydrated. He is moving around considerably more, cavorting almost in some places. He went and used a front room litter box, did the marking scratches on the cardboard TV box. I haven't heard this guy make them marking scratches in almost 3 weeks, so I consider this a good sign. He has voluntarily hopped off my lap a couple of times and managed to seem like he landed pretty okay. I'm being super careful, pick him up, very gentle, set him down. He gets his own food daily that I generally try to make sure the other cats don't mess with. As a result, though, unfortunately, in the last week of doing this, Samara, who absolutely 1,000% is all about that canned pate food as well, has eaten a bit of extra meat. And she's a little tubbing up for the winter. So I kind of got to watch that. Basically, what it means is that I'm feeding them less of the dry food nightly because there's a little bit more wet food available. I don't think anybody's going to suffer from this. I also busted out one oil radiator space heater on low last night in the blue bedroom where Steve has been staying. If he's anemic, he's going to be getting chilly. He used to have a fat guy suit to help him with that. Big old fur coat and padding, blubber. He does not have that now, so I have to be aware of the fact that my anemic cat is going to be getting cold. So, first heater, AC's off, still got a fan going to kind of help circulate some air in the house, and turn that heater on and gained a degree in here pretty quickly in the front room, even though it was in the back where the heat was. So, yeah, that's kind of the update on things around here. Fall progression is happening. I've got some more wood stuff to work on, but it won't be today. It'll probably be my days off next week. Got some more logging to do. Got some big half-rotted log segments that I've hauled up from the woods that some of these had been cut and left. Some of these had been segmented off of large fallen limbs. And what I'm finding is some of these limbs are Dutch elm and some of these are white oak. I think I have them mostly separated. The smaller limby bits are a little harder to see when they're slightly rotten and the bark comes off. It's harder to tell. But these other bigger sections that I had that I split open to burn a few trial pieces last week, or I'd say probably 2-3 days ago, whenever it was I had that fire. It's very interesting. The almost salmon in the center of the wood, and it embered well, it burnt good, it had all the attributes of oak. So I'm assuming it's oak. As far as I know, sycamore being of the maple variety, if it was big sycamore logs, those would burn hot, but they wouldn't necessarily stick around as embers, and I had a nice bed of coals going. The walnut, that's black walnut for sure. It is nicely seasoned. I've got some other limb fall around, a couple of different walnut trees that look like they're getting ready to come down, and I got some up here on the top side of the house on the west end. I've got these ash trees that are getting the emerald ash borer, and I'm gonna have to get the ladder out and chainsaw a few of these smaller dead limbs off as well. It is the third potential spam call this morning today. I haven't had spam calls for weeks, and now I got spam calls. This is amazing. So, yeah, that's kind of what it is. Slow but sure prepping for the winter. Want to make sure that my vehicle is going to be fully usable, even though some of these days, if I have to use four-wheel drive to get around in the snow and the weather and everything, gas money and bullshit half-ass tips will basically mean that a $70 to $80 night of driving for about 8 to 10 hours, I won't be driving constantly, mind you, but a get up and go and running all over hell night with four-wheel drive and that beastie V8 means that basically some of these wintertime nights, the only money I'm going to make is what's left after I fill my tank 2 or 3 times. Maybe I'm just being pessimistic, but we'll see. Gonna need it to get around for sure, but as far as can't drive super fast in the winter. Hopefully, them wintertime tips kind of make up for it that week before Christmas and whatever. And people are like, oh, wow, snow, four-wheel drive. Yeah, dude, I'm eating it on gas. Some of them go, 0, I'm a piece of shit. Wish you luck. Some people go, oh, damn, bro, here's 15. Oh, thank you, because it'd be nice to turn a profit. And, yeah, my bills will be paid. But it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm delivering for the fuck of it, because it's fun. We'll see how that goes. We'll also see how bad the winter is. I honestly don't know at this point what it's really going to do. I'm not... It was kind of predicted last year that this winter was not going to be as bad as last. So maybe we'll get snow. Maybe we'll get a sufficient deep freeze. I hope we certainly do. As far as massive snowfall, I don't even know. I really don't know yet. Not a clue, not a hint, not a hunch. So I'm going to end this here. This will get uploaded later, I believe. I don't know, maybe while I'm out working, I might try and get it uploaded. But also at the moment, my previous video, which is a short speaking on parental anguish, I guess you could say, the need to see justice for your offspring or whatever. I'm going to leave that as my last video for a while. I'm going to be like, okay, you can say that the algorithm just didn't pick it up or whatever, but if I haven't put anything else out. So actually thinking about it, I'll probably get this uploaded Friday late into the night, in the evening or whatever when I'm working. And yeah, so anyways, when you're seeing this, you will then understand hopefully that the last day or so of me not posting anything else on videos is going to be because I want that one short to take off, not for fame purposes, but because people need to think about that. So if you haven't, go check out the video before this one, and then at some point this weekend, anything else I put together in the next few days as far as content goes, I will definitely put up. And I will definitely put up, and over the weekend we'll have a flood of content. So calling it good here. Got something political to talk about here in a little bit, and again, that also will come up at some point here. So you may be seeing this on Friday or Saturday. I hope all has been well in the meantime.